Hello everyone, we are from group Small Brain, and this video is to present the DevOps implementation. So let's start with the Jira. So we have created the Jira project called Dev, and here is the one issue that we created. So the issue right now is inside the to-do. And for the GitHub report, we already created a report with the Node.js Express API. So we can see from here, we create a very simple Express API. So here I have two endpoints. Okay. Then for the Jenkins, we have created a project called DevOps, and the pipeline code we store inside the report, which is in Jenkins file. And here we declare all the pipeline steps inside this file. So the first step is preparation, where we pull the source code from the GitHub. So how this pipeline will be triggered is from the GitHub webhook. So when we see the configure here, we can specify the GitHub report URL. And then for the build trigger, we specify the GitHub webhook trigger from Git SCM tooling. And then at GitHub, we need to set the webhook URL. So since we are currently host our Jenkins in our local, so we use ngrok to expose our local server to the online server using ngrok. So here we specify the URL to trigger Jenkins GitHub. Okay. And at the bottom here, we can see how the pipeline script is downloaded from our Git source code, as we see from here. So the second step is to build the Docker image, and the Docker file is in our repo also using the Docker file. So the third step is testing. So our testing is done using JMeter, and here we can see Jenkins will start the Docker container and then start the testing using JMeter. So we tested two API endpoints, and then here the result will be displayed inside Jenkins. And then finally we start the Docker container. After the test is success, then we push it into the Docker hub. And finally we update the Jira transition status. So let me demonstrate the commit. So if I change the commit, for example, inside the README, and then commit, and push. So we can see from the DevOps. Let me refresh. Okay, we can see the new commit here 12 seconds ago. And at the GitHub Jenkins, we can see the new build here, which is now 12:20 p.m. And the status here we can see here is the pipeline, and we can see the step in the pipeline. So right now it's still under testing. Okay, so now we can see the README, something is updated. Okay, so here we can see the build is success. Okay, and here the right hand side performance thread is the result from JMeter testing. And if we see the build, we can see the console output. So here follows all the pipeline steps, where the first step is to pull the source code from GitHub. And then here we can see commit message is update ready. And then the second one is to build the Docker file, followed by to run the Docker container and using JMeter for testing. And then after that, here we can see the Docker image is pushed to the repository in the Docker Hub. So here we can see the Docker Hub updated 3 minutes ago. Okay, and finally, you can see the Jira is updated from to do to in progress, which is the transition updated. Okay, and that's all for our DevOps.